Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
Financial Survival Network is presented to you by Regal Assets. Buy and sell physical gold and silver through your existing retirement plan, 100% tax-free with Regal Assets. If you want to include physical gold or silver in your existing IRA or old 401k, request your free investment kit, which was recently featured in the Forbes and Smart Money Wall Street Journal magazines. Call toll-free 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620, or visit regalassets.com. You're listening to the FinancialSurvivalNetwork.com. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1490 WGCH. And it's time for another Triple Lutz report. Today is March 4th, 2013. This report is entitled Detroit, City of the Future. First, word. We're being brought to you by several sponsors today. Obviously, regalassets.com, preparewise.com, and jasonhartman.com, new sponsor. First, Preparewise, get some food now. That's all I can say. Said it all before. The stuff is good. Use the code LUTZ, which you can use for any of our sponsors, and I promise you, you're going to like this. And if you don't like it, you send it back to them. If you're really concerned, buy the sample package. Next, when we're talking about retirement programs, we're talking about 401ks, they're coming for them. It looks that simple. So 2 ways to remedy this situation, perhaps. Nothing is guaranteed when you're dealing with Uncle Sam, and he's desperate. But number 1, you can put your 401k, convert it, put it into gold and silver. Regal Assets, they are masters at doing that. They do it quickly, efficiently. You sign one form, and it's done. Can't recommend them highly enough. You've heard Tyler Gallagher on the show. He's brilliant. I mean, the guy started out as an actor. He saw the light, and he's been doing gold and silver for 10 years. He's the person I trust. And finally, Jason Hartman, real estate master, good guy. I've talked to him extensively. I like him. And when you're looking for real estate investments and you don't want to put your money into a REIT or some other Wall Street contraption, look to Jason. He's really good at it. Jason Hartman, HARTMAN.com. Good person. Obviously, do your due diligence. So back to Detroit. Is it the city of the future? You may have heard by now that Michigan's governor, Rick Snyder, he's finally bitten the bullet. He's been threatening for years to appoint an emergency manager to run the failed city of Detroit. Now he's gone and done it. And this is a great example of what happens when collectivists take over a productive, affluent city, run it unchallenged for half a century, and failure. Its problems are largely due to one-party rule by Democrats, but Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter, and the real-life application of socialistic principles. That's what it comes down to, really. The city's decline began in earnest in 1967. Police brutality towards blacks was rampant, and it was the norm. And what happened was a minor incident turned into a major riot that lasted for 7 days. Detroit was in flames and broken, and it never recovered. White flight, which was already well underway, accelerated, and it further doomed the city. Government's attempts to fix things led to one misguided program after another, and every effort to raise Detroit from poverty and blight only further put it into decline. The free market, of course, was never viewed as an option. And look, the auto industry, which was long the stalwart of Detroit's economy, began a generational decline, greatly reducing the city's employment and economic activity. population went from 1.8 million in 1950 to just above 700,000 today. This is a remarkable decline. No other city in the country has gone through that. Certainly no major city. And Detroit now looks more like the war-torn Stalingrad than a 21st century American city. Thousands of vandalized, abandoned buildings stand as monuments to abject failure. Oh, and forget about the city's day-to-day operations. They are in total meltdown. Many police calls go unanswered. Large sections of the city are dark at night because thieves have stolen the streetlights' copper wiring for scrap. Public education is a euphemism for warehousing and babysitting the criminal youth of tomorrow. Packs of wild dogs are found throughout the city. In many areas, garbage collection is a luxury that can no longer be afforded, and street cleaning is non-existent. So appointment of an emergency manager is undemocratic. The manager has near dictatorial powers. With a stroke of a pen, he can abrogate contracts, lay off workers, cut pension obligations, and basically stick it to the unions, which they so richly deserve. But this state of affairs is the result of an anti-democratic, anti-market forces, and they've been at work for decades. One-party rule, forced unionization, anti-poverty, parasitic infrastructure, and a series of incompetent and corrupt mayors all have played a role in this disaster. I mean, just look at the last mayor, Kwame Kirkpatrick. He's in jail now, and the guy looted the city. So Detroit is truly the city that doesn't work. Detroit has run out of hope, and it's run out of options. Perhaps mass demolition of the dilapidated structures, a redefinition of what core government services must be delivered, and the defoliation of union power might perhaps slow down the final dissolution of this once great city. But barring any miracles, the situation looks bleak. Businesses that can do so have moved away in droves. In the absence of excessive subsidies, what business would ever think of relocating there? The auto companies are now worldwide multinationals, garnering more sales outside the U.S. than within. No doubt they'd all love to flee Detroit for lower taxed and safer environs, but they won't dare do it. They don't want to take the PR hit that would ensue. So what lessons can be learned from this failed experiment in social engineering? Well, first of all, no matter how well intended, government in and of itself cannot create wealth and prosperity. It usually winds up doing the exact opposite, in fact. Next, one-party and even two-party rule eventually lead to failure. Also, high taxes kill jobs and businesses everywhere it's tried. Finally, free market solutions must be attempted regardless of the political risk. Look, is Detroit a metaphor for urban America, at least in the high-taxed industrial states? It certainly appears that way. Other once great cities appear to be headed down a similar path. Philadelphia, St. Louis, Hartford, Chicago, Camden, Buffalo, Los Angeles, fill in the blank. So many more are part of this exclusive, expanding club. This list is just too long to recount here. Until the power of unions is broken, state and local taxes are cut to the bone, and government services are pared back to their basic essentials, urban decay will continue unabated. Finally, the elimination of one-party rule and perhaps both political machines is an absolute necessity if we're ever going to dig our way out of this economic ditch we now find ourselves in. So think that over. Let's see what happens. because it's happening pretty quickly now. The decline, it's just going unabated. So thanks for listening. This is Kerry Lutz. Been another Triple Lutz Report, signing off. This show is sponsored by Sandstorm Gold, a gold streaming company. They provide capital to their mining partners that helps get mines built and into production. Sandstorm can then purchase a portion of the production at a low fixed price per ounce. This way, Sandstorm avoids the risks and headaches of exploring, permitting, building, and operating a mine, but still gets much of the benefit at a greatly reduced risk. There's no capital calls or obligation to invest additional sums. Sandstorm leaves the job of building and operating the gold mines to its partners while using its expertise to supply them with financial support. Nolan Watson and David Oram, Sandstorm's founders, were the first two employees of Silver Wheat, which is the first metal streaming company and now the largest in the world. Since 2009, Sandstorm has built an 8 gold stream portfolio with 3 NSR gold royalties. Its market cap is over $1 billion, and it spun out a sister company called Sandstorm Metals and Energy. It's listed on the TSX Venture. Symbol is SND. Sandstorm will purchase approximately 30,000 ounces of gold in 2012, growing to over 60,000 ounces by 2015 at an average cost of just $400 per ounce, while the market price closes in on $2,000 per ounce. Sandstorm Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol SAND and on the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol SSL.